Hi, good afternoon. My name is Susanna Jones. I'm a professor in social work and the Assistant Dean for Student Success in the College of Health and Social Science at San Francisco State University. I have the honor and privilege today to be here with a fantastic group of students and a wonderful colleague and faculty member, and we're here to talk about the student experience. So without further ado, I'd like to hand the mic over to Dr. Marty Martinson.
Thank you so much. It's really great being here. I'm so happy to have a chance to talk with these three amazing students who are well through their journey at San Francisco State. We're gathered to talk today to reflect a little bit about your experience so that people who are thinking about coming to San Francisco State can see at least what three students' experiences have been while they've been here. And I think having that familiarity with your experiences may help others to think about whether San Francisco State is the place they'd like to be. So thanks again for being here. I think to start off, what I'd like to do is just ask each of you, Romina, Monica, and Michael, to introduce yourselves to the audience and say a little bit about your program and where you are in it in your major.
I can start. Hi everyone, I'm Romina. I'm a CAD major, which is also known as Child and Adolescent Development, and my concentration is youth work and out of school time. This is my last semester, and I've been at State for about 4 years.
I'll go ahead and go next. Hi, everyone. My name is Monica. I am a fifth-year undergraduate student earning my degree in nutrition and dietetic science. I am so excited to be here with all of you today. I am also in my last semester, so yay!
Ooh, I guess that completes all of us. Hi guys, my name is Michael. I'm a CJ major, which is criminal justice, and a health education minor. I'm also a fifth year, so don't be scared just because some people get 4 or 5. It's just a number. But I'm also graduating this year, so just to let you guys know it's possible. It's real. It's not just a dream.
That's so great. No wonder you all have smiles on your faces. You are nearing the graduation moment, which is really truly an amazing and wonderful accomplishment to be really, really proud of. So thinking way back to when you were just first thinking about where you wanted to go to college, if you could each share a little bit about what made you to decide to come to San Francisco State, that might be a really interesting perspective to hear.
I can go first. So I guess taking a little bit way back, when I was taking my ACT and I saw my score, I wasn't sure I'd get into a university, but I did. And so with that first, I want to say, take a chance. You never know what's going to happen. It could be a really good thing. And so the reason I moved to SF was I kind of wanted to get out of my small hometown and go to a city where, there's better and bigger opportunities. And I know SF State was perfect for that. And luckily I had a friend who was there to guide me. So I was just very grateful to have, little pointers of what to do along the way. But yeah, just, you can do it. That's all I want to say. You can do it.
I'll go ahead and speak next because I have something very similar to what Romina just mentioned. So I actually grew up in a small town, not very diverse. And so to me, what really spoke to me about San Francisco State was its diversity. I wanted to have the opportunity to interact with people from all different cultural backgrounds. And SF State is great at that. We have so many students from such diverse backgrounds who come with different perspectives. And being in your degrees, you're going to experience that everybody has something valuable to say and an input that will make you really think like, I hadn't thought about it that way. So to me, it was its diversity that really brought me to SF State. But I'll go ahead and let Michael answer his.
Well, I guess I'll speak to our native Bay Area, San Francisco high schoolers that are looking to come to SF State. I grew up in San Francisco, born and raised all the way through high school. And for me, what drew me to SF was how diverse it is, but also just that saying of big town, like not big town, but just how small the city can be, but also just how ginormous it can be in the types of people, places, experience, opportunities that you can have here.
That's great. Thanks, everyone. It's, many paths converge when a new group of students come into San Francisco State. And it's really, I think you're really speaking to the ways in which the diversity, the range of opportunities at San Francisco State and in the city of San Francisco and the Bay Area provides a really rich experience. But also that the fact that you are all coming from these different places means that you get to learn with and through each other in really powerful ways, which is really great. Being in a university, being in college, has all kinds of experiences that come with it, of course. And everyone who's been in school knows that it can be stressful at times with deadlines and, all of that. But I also know that there are so many experiences that can happen in a university environment that are really powerful and meaningful and that really stick with you in very, very positive ways. And I'm wondering if each of you could share with us one of those experiences and maybe describe a little bit about why it sits in your heart and in your memory as something that's really so powerful for you.
I'll go ahead and go first. But first of all, wow, I mean, where to even begin? I think I have such amazing experiences here at SF State that to pick a favorite one is a little challenging. It's just the connections that you can make here at SF State are incredible, and it just builds all of these experiences that choosing one's very hard. But if I had to talk about my favorite experience, I would say the one that I'm doing right now. I'm currently working as an undergraduate research assistant. For SF State, I'm actually working with Dr. Jones, who's also here in this video call. And it has been just a mind-blowing experience. First of all, when I first started college, I had no idea that I would ever be interested in research or that I would ever have the opportunity to work in research. And SF State just provides opportunities. You just have to seek them. And there's just countless of opportunities available to you. So throughout this experience, I've been able to conduct focus groups. I've been able to analyze data, just things that I would have never even thought of before coming to SF State. And now as I, approach the end of my undergrad, I've been considering going on to a master's program. And this research experience has just been amazing for that, because I know that those experiences that I'm learning here in my undergrad are going to carry me through my education. So I am just very excited. I think SF State just has experiences everywhere you look, and you just have to go knocking on some doors, but you're going to get whatever you want to get out of SF State. But I'll go ahead and let Romina and Michael share theirs.
First, I just want to say I'm so proud of you, and you're totally right. Like, there's so many opportunities that will come up, and it might be scary at first, but it's so important to take the chance. And the fact that you're, you are in research, that's amazing. I guess what I can add for me was I had really bad experiences with previous counselors, like when I was in high school. And so I was really intimidated going into, college, because, college is bigger and scarier. But I was floored by how encouraging and supporting the counselors and professors were. Like, it's just so nice knowing, we all have our different majors, but we have great people behind us who are encouraging us and supporting us into, getting our degree. And so that's one thing I would say is great about SF State. You always have someone in your corner and they're rooting for you.
Similar to Romina and Monica, for me, it's just been a culmination of experiences that I've had. So many highlights with my professors, ranging from like small talks that we have 5 minutes after class, or meeting after hours, to going to events together. It's just been amazing to know that everyone around you is just not only someone that you can learn from, but someone that you can connect with. And to me, that's been something that's been invaluable to me. Going on to talking to so many people just through connections alone has been something that I never thought possible. Speaking to activists who have gone on to speak to millions of people, to going to someone who just wants to have a friendly talk. It's been something that I never thought that I'd be able to do, just because, I mean, the world is so big, but here at SF State, it can become so small because you can know someone that knows someone, and just like that, you gain a whole new experience and perspective.
I think before we move on, I have something else I would like to add in there, just because of, you know, what Romina and Michael mentioned about the support and their experiences. I think that's something that's really good to know, because when I was in high school, my senior year, I was actually undocumented. And when I thought about applying for colleges, I got a lot of no's. I remember going to my high school counselor, and she had told me like, oh, well, you're undocumented. There's no way, like you can't go into a four-year college. And then coming to SF State and finally taking that big decision of, you know, I'm going to pursue this no matter what people are saying. And then all of a sudden, this dynamic just changes. SF State just embraces me. And I have this amazing academic support where everyone's like, no, you can do it and you're not alone. We have a group here of undocumented students. We have support. Like, tell us what we can do to help you. And that was such a different experience from where I came from. And I wanted to share that just because, yes, the support here at SF State is just out of this world. And you're always going to feel welcomed. And there's always going to be people who want your best at heart. So I just wanted to build on that real quick before we moved on. But yeah.
I just want to steal a moment and say, as a faculty member and as an assistant dean, and I imagine that Dr. Martinson and so many of our faculty feel this way, our job is easy to support you all, because the students that come to San Francisco State, you represent. You are the best of what we have to offer. So I'm listening to you all, but I want to tell you from my perspective, it is simple and easy and a pleasure to support students just like yourselves.
Oh, so true. Oh, so true. It's hard to sit here and listen to this without feeling like my heart just being really full right now. Because from a faculty perspective, what I experience is how much I learn and grow every year, because this educational experience is really about relationships, and it's about the ways in which we are learning with and through each other. And certainly as faculty members, we bring forward the knowledge or the skills that we have to share with all of you. But what I find really powerful is that you all are bringing your own life experiences and your skills and knowledge and opening up to share that with each other and with us. And through that, we grow really powerfully. And so that really leads me to my last question, which is just, if each of you could think about, through your journey here at San Francisco State, the different ways that you've grown. You know, how do you look back at your experience, and in what ways do you see growth or change in yourselves?
Well, I'll speak first. For me, if I were to look back 5 years, I would not recognize myself. The professors I've had here who have gone on to do great things, and just knowing that, wow, that person taught me, to know that I have a way tremendous more confidence in myself as a scholar, as an activist, and as a person, for me has been something that I'll never forget. I'll never forget the people that I've learned to listen to, the people who have taught me so many different things, and just the way that I've been able to talk to so many people. Because for me, as a criminal justice major, I want to eventually go into law enforcement, which I know is something that right now it's very hot water, that a lot of people have very strong feelings for. But the one thing that I know, that when I go into it and when I'm able to serve my public, that I know that SF State has prepared me to be the best version of myself that I can be, to make sure that I am 100% a positive force in this world.
Wow, Michael, that's powerful.
Yeah.
That made my heart so happy. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's hard to follow, Michael. I do want to mention that I really agree with what Michael said. I think the connections that you built at SF State are just out of this world. And I've had the opportunity to work with such amazing educators and such amazing professors that are these huge role models in my eyes. The amazing thing about going to college is that you finally get to focus on what it is that you are passionate about. And so for me, that's nutrition and dietetics, and getting to work with a variety of professors from a diverse background who share the same passion and who are just persevering in their fields, whether that is through research or through just the amount of knowledge that they have, has been mind-blowing. And the amount of connections that you make at SF State and seeing these role models will just inspire you to do better. And so, in fact, I think that's one of the reasons why I have chosen that I do want to continue my education. And even throughout that process of applying to graduate school, I've had the support from all the faculty. I've had individuals who I didn't even have to ask for a letter of recs. They were just like, oh, you want to go to graduate school? Let me write you a letter of rec. And that is just a different experience than what you can get anywhere else. I think that's really what helps make San Francisco State unique, and all the students that come through it we're just very lucky to have such amazing staff. But I'll go ahead and let Romina speak.
Oh no, yeah, I mean, the relationships I've made with my professors have been unreal. Like, again, I never knew that I could have that much support and have someone believe in me. But another great thing about State is the close connections I've made for people who are in my major, because we've also had similar stories and we're so passionate about this one thing that we really care about. And I think that's such a nice thing to bond over, and to know that someone feels that way with you too and want to make a difference. And so I've been thankful that even remotely, I've been able to connect with my peers. And I've made a lot of friendships, even though it was online, and it was hard, but knowing that there's someone else who wants to make a connection with you too, like once you just say hello, it can make all the difference in the world.
Well, it's been wonderful making connections with all of you today. It's really been a pleasure, and I am certain that the perspectives you shared will help others to really reflect upon their own journey and think about the ways in which San Francisco State could be a wonderful place to be. So I personally want to thank you all for joining us and for sharing so openly and in such an inspiring way. And to Dr. Jones, thank you so much for bringing us together in this way.
Sure, it's my pleasure. I just want to thank Romina and Michael, Monica, and Dr. Martinson for sharing not just your experiences about what you learned, but about who you are and all that you brought to this journey and all that you're becoming and all that you will and are. And so I just am very honored to be here today. I want to thank you for your time. Dr. Martinson, thank you so much for facilitating the conversation. And I'd just like to say to anybody who's watching, reach out anytime. And my contact information is going to be available at the end of this recording. So have a fantastic afternoon, and everybody take care. Be well, stay safe.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.